Good day, viewers. My name is Opeyoluwa Valentine Hayodele, and I'm a biology instructor. Today, we're looking at a topic titled Skeletal Materials. Skeletal Materials. Skeletal Materials. From the word skeleton. What is skeleton? Skeleton is the bony framework of the body that provides support, shape, and protection to the internal organs of the body. Skeleton is the bony framework of the body that provides support, shape, and protection to the internal organs of the body. Now, skeletal materials can also be called component of skeleton. It can also be called components of skeleton, skeletal materials. And there are three types. Number one, we have the chitin. Number two, we have the bone. We have the cartilage. Number three, we have the bone. We take the first one, chitin. Chitin is a light, tough, and flexible material. A light, tough, and flexible material that is made up of mainly of carbohydrates. Yes, it is a polysaccharide. Carbohydrates are energy-giving food in the body. There are three types of carbohydrates: monosaccharide, disaccharide, and polysaccharide. Chitin is a polysaccharide. Yes. And this chitin forms mainly the exoskeleton of arthropods. Chitin forms mainly the exoskeleton of arthropods. What are arthropods? On the phylum Arthropoda, there are four major classes of arthropods. We have the crustacea, which makes up, for example, like crayfish, prawn, crab, lobsters, barnacles. We have insecta, made up of the insects: cockroach, beetle, termite, housefly, mosquito, sandfly. Then we have arachnida. So I told you four classes of arthropods. Classes. We have the crustacea, insecta, arachnida, and myriapoda. So we talked about crustacea, insecta. For arachnida now, we have the spider, scorpion, mite, tick. Then for myriapoda now, myriapoda is made up of centipede, and millipede. So it forms the exoskeleton of arthropods. When we say exoskeleton, it means outer skeleton of arthropods. The outer skeleton of arthropods. Like cellulose, that is also a polysaccharide, chitin is freely permeable, just like cellulose. Chitin is freely permeable and is often strengthened with deposits of added proteins and minerals. Chitin is often strengthened with deposits of added proteins and minerals. That's chitin. Now, second one. The second skeletal material to look at is number two, cartilage. Cartilage consists of living cells. Called chondroblasts. It also has proteins and carbohydrates. Chondroblasts. Now, cartilage has what is called great tensile strength. We have a great tensile strength, which means it is strong in itself. A great tensile strength. And it also acts as shock absorbers. It absorbs shock. It acts as shock absorbers. Cartilage acts as shock absorbers, cushioning the effect of bones moving against bones when we move. When bones move, they have the tendency to scrub against each other. So when we sit down, for example, the cartilage area acts as a shock so that we will feel pain. Just like when you were younger, we jump on mattress. Just this mattress that has spring. You jump up, jump up, jump up. You now give a high jump and you land back on the mattress. The mattress absorbs the shock of your body. So cartilages act as shock absorbers. Now cartilage has three types now. There are three types of cartilage. Number one, we have the hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is found in the ring holding the trachea and bronchi. You hold them open, keep them open. The trachea and bronchi are the air passageways where air passes through to the lungs. It's the trachea and the bronchi. It is found on surfaces of movable joints. It's found on surfaces of movable joints. It's found on end of long bones. End of long bones. It's found in the protruding parts of the nose. It's found on the protruding part of the nose, this tip of our nose. That we find hyaline cartilage. You can also find them in the larynx. And this one is called the voice box. What produces voice? And then the fetal skeleton. The fetal skeleton is the skeleton of the unborn baby. The skeleton in the mother's womb is called made up of hyaline cartilage. So you have the wings holding the trachea and the bronchi open, keeping them open. Surfaces of movable joints. A joint is perfect to more bones move. End of long bones, protruding part of the nose, larynx, and the facial skeleton. That's hyaline cartilage. The second type of cartilage we have is the elastic cartilage. Elastic cartilage. Elastic cartilage. This one elastic, something that can draw and return to its original shape after being stretched. So we have the pinna. It's found in the pinna of mammals. This is the external ear. It's found in the external ear canal, the auditory meatus. Now this external ear canal is the passageway where you as the time when you plug cotton ball to our hair, that space in the hair. This is the hair, the external ear now. The external ear. This is the external ear, for example. Comes like this. It goes to get to the middle ear. This is the external ear canal. Ear canal. This is the pinna. That's the pinna. That's the pinna. And you have the epiglottis. 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 The epiglottis is a flap that covers the pathway to the esophagus, our gullet. When we feed, the nasal passageway and the way to the digestive tract, you open at a particular point, right? This is the head now. You have the nose and the mouth. So they open like this. You see now? They open like that. They open like that. So this place now, air enters here. Air enters to this place. Food enters through this passageway. So what the epiglottis does is that when you swallow food, the flap will cover the road to the esophagus so that food won't enter into the esophagus. Gullet that leads to the stomach. That's the epiglottis. And it's up of the elastic cartilage. You also have the eustachian tube. Eustachian tube. The eustachian tube helps to equalize. You also find in the air. It helps to equalize air pressure on both sides of the air when we move. For example, when you're on the bike, for example, a bike, motorcycle bike, when you are moving, you don't feel air in your head because you still have to balance the air pressure on both sides of the air. It's found in the middle air of vertebrates also. So we talked about hyaline cartilage and elastic. The third one is fibrocartilage. 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 The fibrocartilage is the toughest cartilage in the body. It's the toughest cartilage in the body. Toughest cartilage. And you can get this in between the bones of the vertebral column. In between the bones of the vertebral column. Bones of the vertebral column. This is the back. This is the backbone. And this is the backbone. This is the first bone, first vertebral bone, second vertebral bone, third vertebral bone, fourth vertebral bone. These are the fibrocartilage, the vertebral. We call them intervertebral discs. Yes, intervertebral discs. They help to make all the backbone in place, vertebral column. When somebody bends, slides, the bone doesn't be called the tough cartilage, toughest cartilage found. We call them intervertebral discs. Bones of the vertebral column. Those are the pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis. Pubic symphysis is found in between the hip bone. Look at the pubic symphysis now. This is the hip bone. The hip bone consists of the ilium, ischium, and pubis. This middle here is the pubic symphysis. It's a tough cartilage that holds the two left and right hip bones together. That's fibrocartilage. So we've talked about chitin, cartilage, and said we have three types of cartilage. We have the fibrocartilage, hyaline cartilage, and elastic cartilage. So the last skeletal material now is the bone. Bone. And take note, cartilage does not have their own blood supply. They get their nutrients by diffusion from nearby sources in the body. But bone is a tissue that has bone is a tissue. The tissue. It has living cells. Living cells called osteocytes. Osteocytes. It has protein fibers. Protein fibers called collagen. Protein fibers called collagen. It has minerals. Minerals like calcium in form of calcium phosphate. And calcium carbonate. Form of calcium phosphate and calcium carbonate. Both have their own blood supply. Yes, they have their own blood supply. Yes. And the process of bone formation in the body is called ossification. The process of bone formation in the body is called ossification. In advanced levels, we talk about types of ossification like the intramembranous ossification and the endochondral ossification. But at this stage, we know that the process of bone formation is called ossification. There are various types of bones. We have the long bones. We have long bones. You can find this in the femur, humerus, the thigh bone, and the arm bone. We have short bones. We have our phalanges, they are short bones. This is humerus. We have flat bones. The bones of the skull. We have sesamoid bones that go within tendons. Sesamoid bones, for example. We have the patellar bones. So there are various types of bones in the body, numerous types of bones in the body. Yes, various types of bone in the body. And they have their own structure. So looking at the structure of the bone now, let's example look at the structure of the thigh bone. We look at the structure, diagram of thigh bone. I won't draw it in detail. I'll just draw the normal sketch for this level. So diagram of thigh bone. Thigh bone. Just a sketch. So the thigh bone, going down like that. Okay. Look at this bone now. You can see that there are two types of bones now. We have the compact bone, compact bone, compact bone, and the spongy bone. Spongy bone. The spongy bone is also called cancerous bone. So this bone, that's what is called the upper end. Upper end. Call it head. Lower end. Under head. So they call it proximal or distal end. They have the shaft. Use the shaft. How can I explain compact and spongy bone? If you have a thigh bone from the fowl that you hit, the thigh bone, the middle is very hard and very, very hard. But the end of the bone is crunchy. Now the thigh bone like this, that's like that, your meat, your meat, the chicken bone. The head, then you eat this part of the head, this place is spongy, like something like it's like crunchy, sandy particles. But the middle is always very tough and hard, can't be broken easily. That middle part is called the compact bone. It's called compact bone, and the edges are called the spongy bone. So here now, this is the shaft. This has compact bone. Compact bone. This is the upper end. This is spongy bone. Spongy bone. Spongy bone. Now, in the cavity of the bone, that was called the marrow. In the cavity of the bone now, that was called the marrow cavity. Marrow cavity. And there are two types. You have the yellow marrow. That's the yellow marrow and the red marrow. The red marrow is found in the ends of the bone, the upper end and the lower end. The yellow marrow is found in the shaft, the marrow cavity. This is the marrow cavity. It contains yellow marrow. Yellow marrow. Yellow marrow contains fat. Yellow marrow contains fat. Yellow marrow contains fat. While the red marrow produces blood cells. The red marrow produces beer out the red marrow. The red marrow produces blood cells. Yes, the other produces blood cells. So like we said, you said that when one is growing, we need some nutrients that stimulate the formation of bone. To have a healthy bone, we have the calcium. Calcium should be present in our diet for strong bones. Then vitamin D every morning sun. It's also vitamin D every morning sun. Vitamin D is also essential for formation of strong bones. Yes, strong bones. Lack of vitamin D in young one causes rickets, while in the old it causes osteomalacia when someone has big bones. Yeah, so for this level now, we stop here for the bones. There's a lot to know about bones, but for this level, we stop here for the bones. Bones, I told you bones have their own blood supply. Yes, they have their own blood supply. There are two types of bone, the spongy bone and the compact bone. There are types of bone, the flat bones, the short bones, the long bones, and the sesame bones. So today, we will be able to do skeletal materials, also called components of skeleton, the chitin, the cartilage, and the bone. Yes, so in our next class, we'll talk more on the structure of the skeletal system. Have a great day.